Hello, everybody. Welcome to your daily pop of positivity. I found some of my absolute favorite cards. These are so restful and peaceful and beautiful, and I just love the watery wash of color in them. I think they're amazing. And let's see what came up for us and what messages, you guys. So, number one, we have the Traveler, which is the Fool. Beautiful adventure and potential. This is what really gets me fired up and gets my cylinders going in the morning. Like, what kind of adventure can I have today? What can I pay reverence and focus on that's going to make me feel happy and things are special all around? I love when you notice something about your property, something growing on it. It could be, either trees bearing fruit. We have morning glories that for so long, I didn't know were on this one area of our house. And I was so beautifully surprised by them. And it was such a moment of this, like, wow, look at the splendor and the beauty and the magic. Another thing occurred the other day where just dozens of dragonflies came out of nowhere and started swirling all around our backyard. And I thought, is there a certain point of the day where they all do this? It was really, really beautiful. And, just like days of the week, I definitely believe that different days of the week have different potentials for us to tap into. And today being Wednesday, I feel like that's communication, initiation, and shadow work. We're right in the middle of the week. And we realize as we move in, it's a Mercury day, it's mercurial. So as we come into Thursday and Jupiter, growth, influence, road opening, personal success sort of comes into this. And that's also the world. Whenever, we tell ourselves internally, we can say it aloud, we can write it down. This day is going to be excellent. I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm going to have peaceful moments. Whenever I feel anything is too much, I'm going to step back, tap into my reserves, take a deep breath, change my lens on my perspective, glasses if there's a problem, if I'm seeing things. Sometimes when I feel there's a lack of time, I can find myself not being as generous or gracious. It could be anything, on the phone, doing something for somebody if I think time is going to run out. So what I do is I remember how, cyclical time is, and there's always enough when we believe that. And then I get into this perspective that my day is going to be very fulfilling, my work is going to be fulfilling. And I was thinking about this today. I was like, how grateful I am that every day I'm just as excited as I was yesterday in the very beginning process of my channel, of making jewelry, of speaking to clients. Like, I still have every ounce and zest of that enthusiasm, creativity, and love for it. So I have so much gratitude for this, and I'm constantly celebrating this in little ways. And I want you to do that for yourself. If you get really excited about cooking a wonderful meal, gardening, listening to music and dancing, sketching, whatever it is, pause for a moment and have reverence for that and celebrate that, because there are individuals that really have no kind of artistic bent or creative endeavors, and those are the people oftentimes you hear, I'm bored. You'll see them a lot just shopping and consuming and buying. And that's not to say if you're creative you don't want to shop, but what I'm saying is you'll see them, if they're not eating, being entertained by TV or shopping. It's just filling their days. I feel like it's the creative ones that love to write poems, do gardening, all of that, working with your hands and your mind and creating. The day, it has all this magic and celebration to it, right? So really, really pay attention when those gifts show up and you want to create something. I don't care if it's building a little dollhouse out of popsicle sticks, whatever it is that just, gives you a flight of fancy, go for it. I remember getting 1,000,001 ideas when those when I see those little umbrellas, that you get in drinks. Like, I remember they were at Party City and I was like, oh my gosh, I could build a whole fairy village. I could make all these things. Like, I get excited about miniature versions of things. I get really stoked about that. And this saying anything, if you're making a cup of cappuccino or tea, make it awesome. Put in just the right amount of honey, cinnamon, whatever you like. Now let's talk about the Knight of Crystals, endurance and determination. Now I feel like this needs to come into play when we need to make necessary changes or redirect our energy in things that are beneficial, helpful, and bring us joy, right? Because we can get fixated. We are habitual. We can start to do the same things, but we just experience the same energy, the same result. We get what we got because we did what we did already, so we understand it. So let's do something new. Let's not walk in our house from the office, plop down, watch the same sitcom, eat the same snacks, always have the same behavior day after day after day, because we will lose enthusiasm and excitement for life when we feel like things are super regimented or always the same. You want sparks of surprise, right? Something to look forward to. And this is what I try to do for myself in the evening or in the morning, to give myself something wonderful to look forward to for the next day. Like, for instance, Ian was online and he said, oh my gosh, Mel, do you remember when we were at Cape Cod and they had that crazy donut place and they make these donuts into whatever you want? He's like, they have one of those in Westport. And he was mentioning something about stopping by for lunch and that this place is right next to where we'd be having lunch. And I thought, you know what, this will get Hagen excited about, going out and doing something tomorrow, as well as me and both Ian. We can all have lunch together, celebrate, and have these insane donuts. And I'll probably pick some up for my neighbors and friends. And I got really excited. Now I'm excited for tomorrow. And I feel like we're always able to do the same. Think of if you have a nearby beach or a park or something you can do, an animal shelter, you want to go see some kittens or puppies, something that just deviates from your original, blueprint of your day, so you can have that spark, that light, and give yourself something to look forward to. It does make a big difference. It will give you this endurance to push through anything you might have to, business or otherwise. If you're doing your taxes or something bureaucratic or red tape, you'll have the determination to finish that, because there's always beautiful things to look forward to. And let's get things within scale so they don't look so, out of whack. Like, work is 80% of the time and leisure and fun is 20% of the time. Let's get things back into perspective, especially in the summer. We're meant to slow down, really kind of let some air out of the tires, relax, go for long leisurely walks, sip tea, and really treat yourself. I did this for myself today. I know there was one particular delicious kind of strawberry lemonade I like, and it's a little more expensive, but it is heavenly. And I'm like, you are out in a place where you're running errands. Why don't you treat yourself? And isn't it funny? And comment down below if there's some things, no big deal for an expenditure, but sometimes you're like, oh, I can't pay $4 or $5 for a beverage. It's really weird how we convince ourselves of this. But if we're going to enjoy it, let's do this. And the moment you doubt something that's going to please you just because of its cost, go ahead and get it. Treat yourself. Let yourself know that you are valued. Most of the time we do it for our children, right? We'd spend an exorbitant amount on those crazy milkshakes and frothy drinks if they want them. So let's do it for ourselves, right? If they want to stop and pop off of the beach and just run up to the water on their knees and get a big gust of sea air, you do that for them. So do it for yourself. Make that kind of pact with yourself that each day you're going to infuse it with some little nice surprise for yourself, because you're deserving of it. And these cards definitely speak of that. And what I'll do too, I think over on IG, I'll do a flip through of these later in the week, because they really are beautiful. I'll just show you really quickly some of the artwork. This was also one of my first decks, and crazy story. This is the only deck I took with me a few years ago when I began my channel. And I said, I'm not going to take, tons of things to the shore because I'll just start working all the time. And I remember laying in this really cozy Airbnb in bed and looking at these pictures and just feeling really great and warm and happy. And it also, artists, when they see other artwork, they get so many wonderful ideas. And I love this, again, this soft wash of color. And I got all these ideas, and I just got, it just illuminated my day just seeing these. So sometimes if you guys can get a hold of some artwork that really speaks to your soul, and I feel like, honestly, Oracle decks and tarot decks are fantastic for that, because they're so reasonable in cost, and you're basically getting 72 works of art, right? And I mean, like Colette Baron Reid's Oracle decks, they are insane with the artwork. I mean, there's a whole myriad, of course. Paolo Biberi, who does, I think I might have his decks right by me. I think, I don't know what I did with them, but his stuff, so dreamy. And one of my favorite decks too, and it's funny that I had the book close by, if you ever want some really uplifting stuff, is the Lightseers Tarot. Beautiful artwork, very uplifting. But I mean, I love anything to do with animals and nature. It's just so squishy and so, wonderful and heartwarming, and I just love it. And I like to just thumb through some of these decks before I go to bed. They give me a calming sense of peace, very relaxing. So you guys, that is your daily pop, love, and light.